In this video we will talk about strike-through values in selects, what they may be related to and how to fix them. There are several absolutely different cases. Let's start with the first one, which we have already seen. Select is a dependent field. When there is no checkbox here, there are vegetables in the list. Here's potato, I added cabbage also. When we put a checkbox, we have no vegetables in this list, only fruit and added stuff here. Here is the empty value, and this is the one we added manually in the code that generates this value. A potato was selected, and instead it shows this strike-through out field value. It means that we have no display for such a base, because according to the sampling conditions it does not belong to the interval because of the specified restriction. Let's see how this looks in the code. Right here, if the checkbox is set, then we take this value of S1. And it says here that type equals fruit. When we have the checkbox off, we can select the potato here by S2 it is selected. In this case, there's no such restriction here. And when we put checkbox, the value remains, but there is no display, because it does not pass this condition. How can this be modified? Let's think about it. First, we remove fruit from here and make a line like this. Let's call it add. Why add? We need to take the list of these fruits by the field that we have here as the base field. That is the base field, and add the current value of the field to it. So here we're going to do a list add and take the list. Let's call it that for now. We erase the second list. And here we put a quick variable now field value, which is the value in the current field. Next, what is the list? We have to use select list to get a list from this table. We're going to take the base field value, which is used to generate the displays here. We take this condition and bring it here. Type equals fruit, and ordering is not needed at all. If you don't need sorting, then remove this parameter, don't set it, because it puts an extra load on the action. And here since type we moved here it is type fruit became here. We need to put the same field as base field. So again, what are we doing here? We say that we don't choose immediately by fruit type. We select from an extended list. We extend it by the current value, and we take the base list from the base field values and from the table from which we select it. By base field, by type. Here we write this condition, type equals fruit. Now let's look at what it looks like. Here we have potato, and now it's not strike-through. We uncheck this, and now we have cabbage in addition to potato. We put it back. We see only potato, that is, what we have selected. We do not see cabbage, but if we uncheck this, we see both potato and cabbage and can select it. Well, the same thing works with cabbage. When we have cabbage selected, that value is added to the selection, and everything works fine. Next point. Here is a list of these same elements. It's simpler. This is the way select is used most often, without any base field. We are given a table and a field, which we put on display. This is a virtual label for a cell. Potato vegetable A. And we will make another select that contains only these values. In the real situation, we can do this way, for example, the available documents to send and then already the specific document that we send. Let's add select here, and I will call it select. It's a select type. And what do people usually do here? I'm doing it wrong now, as an example. Here, in the current table, we take a select by select, the select in row field. And what do we see here? That is, we really only see the values that we have got here, but we see them in some strange form. We don't see orange, potato, and passion, but we see 1, 5, and 3. And there it is 5. Why is that? We click here and we see there's a base. We have a 2. So this is the id from here. And the display is 5. The point is that orange, potato, passion are virtual displays of values. And the real values are these. 1, 5, and 3. How do I make it work properly? The idea is that you have to refer to the same table here in this field as the select in the rows part. So we say here that we take from values for select, and we say that we take a title field here. And in order to show only the values that are in the rows part, we have to specify constraints. Where id, because that select has no b field, it is used as values, equals list. What is a list? A list is a select list. We take the values from the current table from the select in row field. We take all values. So we also take from the source table. From the same table from which these select lists are taken, we take the title fields with the restriction by id. Look, here we have some values, old values that we don't need. Here, look, orange, and it's a 1. And here it is, it's also 1. As you see, because here, as the title field is set to str, it has one display. And here the title field is set as the display, and there's a other display, but here it's 1, here it's 1. Let's choose a different value, a passion fruit, there will be a 3. And there it is, passion fruit, a 3. That is, the base is the same. That's the point of selects, we bind to the same bases, but there can be different displays and we can bind from different places. But the important thing is that we bind to the same source table. If we go to values for select now and, for example, add to orange a 2, we will see a 2 when we refresh here. And when we select orange here, there will also be a 2. That is, all places that are bound to this source table, they are all updated without recalculating the tables in which they are placed, because the values in them remain unchanged. The third thing related to strikethrough values is hiding an element from the source table. Let me show you how it looks like. Here we have a source table, and in the table settings in the deletion section, the default deletion type is deletion. This is when we click delete, the row will be deleted from the database without the possibility of recovery. The second option is the hide option. I will set this table to hide. You see, the restore and go back buttons appeared here. And what happens here? When we delete, now the button is labeled hide. We hide this row, and it moves right here to hidden. We can go back. From hidden, we can restore it. In those tables that access that value will be strikethrough like this. We still see the display by this base. There's one left. We see the one left unstroked through. We see exactly the display, but it's strikethrough. This means that the table from which these values are taken, it has a deletion setting, hiding, and it is this row that is hidden there. That seems to be all the cases where we may face such strikethrough values. Practice on your server and welcome to the next video.